What's up, YouTube? Happy Monday. It is January 8th. Just kidding. February 8th. It is February 8th. And I just wanted to wish you guys a very happy Monday and wish you guys a great week. I hope that you guys push towards your goals for the week and stay on track with your macros and your training and keep kicking ass. If you guys follow me on Instagram, then about, I think like 4 or 5 days ago, I posted a picture that I was going to be doing another Q&A on my YouTube channel. And so I'm basically just kind of rounding up different questions that people have left on my Instagram, you know, throughout the past however long that I haven't made a Q&A to answer those questions. So I definitely want to go over majority of them, and if I don't answer a question, and if you're watching this and you had posted one, please put them in the comments below on here, and then I will either respond back to you via comment, or I will be making another Q&A whenever I round up enough questions. So let's just jump into it. I don't want to have this super long, but basically I just want to get some of these answered for you, because I know, you know, typing is a little bit more difficult to understand what I'm trying to actually say. So doing it over a video is a little bit easier to kind of comprehend what I am telling you guys. Let's get started with the Q&A. So I'm just gonna be scrolling through, trying to find them on my Instagram. So don't mind me kind of being sporadic with the questions that aren't really gonna be in any type of order. So the first one is from Riley M_fit. She basically left a little comment, and then at the end of it asked, what do you think is gonna be the hardest part from transitioning from bikini to figure? This is a really good question, and I don't think I've actually really kind of like nailed it on the head with what I've been trying to explain to you guys as far as this transition, because obviously, I mean, the training is gonna be different. The diet is gonna be different. What I mean by that is obviously the training, I'm going from bikini where, yes, I was pushing heavy weight, but I was trying to keep my rep range around like 15 to 20. Where figure, I'm actually trying to obviously increase the weight numbered to put on more mass. And with that, I'm trying to keep rep range around like 10 to 12. So it's definitely a lot more strenuous. I am just having to push myself a lot harder, and I love it. So the training aspect is going to be difficult, but I am enjoying the transition. For diet, obviously, it's a lot more eating. So, I mean, I can't complain about that. I think, to answer this question, the hardest thing that I am going to have to endure while transitioning from bikini to figure is the mental aspect. As you guys know, if you have followed my channel, and if you don't, then here's a little spiel. I fucking hate the scale, and I'm sorry, but I honestly think that the scale is a terrible way to track your progress. I don't say cut it out in general. I think that it is a good way to kind of do maybe at the very beginning of your cut and then at the very end, so that you can see how long you've come or how far that you've come. But for those people who track their weight every single day, honestly, it's a terrible relationship to have with your body. I think that the weight that you see, the numbers that you see on the scale, can be altered from so many different aspects. Whether that's not about how much food you ate, but maybe just the food choices that you ate the night before or the day before, or the water intake that you had from the day before. Maybe you didn't drink that much water and you had more sodium than you usually do. Your body is going to hold on to all of that water. Therefore, having water weight is not really fat, it's just water weight. So whenever you step on the scale the next day, it's going to be higher than it was the day before, but it's not that you gain fat, it's just that you have water weight that you need to sweat out. So that is my view on the scale, and where I was going with that is that I have to allow myself mentally to be okay with being at a weight that is heavier than I am used to. So in bikini, my stage weight was around 108 to 110. If you guys are unfamiliar, I am 5'3", so you can put that into perspective with my weight. I never liked that weight, to be honest. I'm not comfortable at being 108 pounds. I feel very skinny and very almost like sick whenever I am that light. So my off-season weight is about 120, and I am going to have to be mentally okay with the fact that my stage weight eventually for figure is going to be around 120 to 125 for my stage weight. So off-season weight, I'm gonna have to put on some more weight, and I know some of that is going to be muscle mass, some of that is going to be a little bit of fat, and I am okay with that. So I think that mentally, that's gonna be the hardest thing to adapt to. And I know that I preach that, you know, the scale isn't a factor of how far that you've come, but it is, I mean, of course it's something that is a little bit challenging to kind of deal with mentally. So as far as the transition from bikini to figure, I think that the mental aspect is going to be the hardest thing for me to adapt to. All right, so next question is kind of similar. It's by Hezia_312. It is, how do you stay motivated even when the scale isn't saying what you want? So hopefully that last little spiel of that question answered that part of this one for you. But how do I stay motivated? I know that there was another question on here from another person that asked something similar about how I stay motivated. To be honest, something new that I've really been trying is to not rely on social media as a platform for my motivation. So I know that I am all for social media by all means. Like I love interacting with you guys through YouTube and through Instagram. And I think that it is a good platform in the sense of like building a business or building your name. So I'm not bashing on social media at all. I'm just saying that for me personally, I would turn to social media as a way of looking at other girls' physiques, and at one point it almost became a little unhealthy because I wasn't just using it as motivation, I was almost like striving to have that physique instead of, you know, bettering myself, if that makes sense. And you know, this was kind of an ongoing progressional kind of state of mind, and I didn't really see it getting any better. It almost just kept getting worse. I would be looking at these, you know, really known women that have these amazing physiques and thinking that I can just maintain that or, you know, achieve that and have that year round. It was just a little misconceiving. And so again, I am all for social media, so I hope that that wasn't taken wrong. But I just really mean to use it in a way of actually motivating yourself to like get out of bed and go work out, not to strive to like want that body and not be happy in the body that you are, you know, in right now. So personally, how I stay motivated is I'm just really trying to focus on motivating myself and just, you know, wanting to better myself each and every day. Looking in the mirror every day and asking myself, you know, do you want to be better or do you want to remain like this? Are you satisfied? Who do you want to be? What do you want to be? What do you want to do? And just trying to motivate myself every single day. So that is my main advice. I know that there was another question on that, so I'm gonna try to find it. So the other question was from Turtle Sartorius. I'm sorry, I'm terrible with pronouncing names correctly, but it was, how do you stay motivated when you're dieting or cutting for a long time and not seeing the results as quickly as you anticipated? So I hope that that also answered that question for you too if you're watching this. But another thing I want to touch on with that is there's a really good quote, and I don't know if I'm saying this completely correctly, but it's something along the lines of, it takes 4 weeks for you to notice a difference in your body. It takes 8 weeks for friends and family members to notice a difference, and 12 weeks for the rest of the world. I don't know if those numbers are correct, but aside the point, that quote is awesome because it's so true that it's not gonna happen overnight. And I know this sounds cliche as hell, but it's true. Like, changes aren't gonna happen overnight. And with that, I wanna touch that. That could be taken in the sense of, if you have a day where you accidentally binge eat and just eat everything in sight, it's okay, because you didn't lose 20 pounds in a day and you're not gonna gain 20 pounds in a day. So am I saying to do that every single day? No, but don't beat yourself up on days that you were just freaking hungry, and you're human. And just because you're fit and wanting to be in this fitness lifestyle doesn't mean that you still have these wants and you know, feelings that every human being has. So that's my spiel on that. I hope that that answered both of those questions for you guys, and let's see the next question. All right, and so the next question, I think it's going to be the last one. Sorry, because I've actually been talking kind of a lot on all of these. In this last 2 questions, I want to kind of elaborate on. One is from Avadaware, and it was, what do I do if I go over my macros for the day? Which I kind of just touched on. Everything just plays hand in hand. And then the other one was, it's from It's Batty. And it's, how do you track if you don't know what seasonings and sauces that they use in restaurants, do you just guesstimate it, or how do you track it? So I want to touch on this. I posted a picture a couple days ago on my Instagram about, and so it does elaborate on the picture as well, but I wanted to talk more about it over video so that you guys can get a better understanding about how to track macros or eat just, you know, healthy and back to the basics whenever you're out at a restaurant. I will fully admit, because I've always wanted to be super transparent with you guys, especially just in the sense that I know that there's people who have been where I have been. Obviously, whenever I started tracking macros, I had a really hard time adjusting to it. I've mentioned this in videos before. I have gone through every stage that I think that you can go through whenever it comes to tracking macros and counting macros, in the sense of there would be times where I went through the stage of tracking out like a week's worth of meals and only eating that, and not understanding the true meaning of flexible dieting and counting macros. And those two words or two phrases are interchangeable. They basically mean the same thing. And so if I wanted to go out with friends and family, I wouldn't be able to, or I thought that I wouldn't be able to, because I already had my meals tracked out for the day. And I didn't want to go off track with what meals, you know, I would get at the restaurants. And I know it sounds really absurd, but I was there. I was literally that person, and I lost friends because of it. I, you know, distanced myself from a lot of people because of it, and I remember thinking to myself that, like, if this is what fitness is about, then I don't want to do it. I don't want anything to do with it. If I literally looked at myself one day and was like, if this means that I can't have the friendships and the relationships that I love and that literally make me happy, then I don't want to fucking do it. Like, I don't want to live this kind of lifestyle. And I knew that there had to be a balance. Like, I knew that that wasn't how tracking macros was supposed to be. And so I know that I've gotten the question of, how do you find that balance? And the answer is, it just happens with time. There's really no like tricks or tips of how to find that balance. The only advice I can give you is to practice and to give it time. So I posted a picture of when me and my boyfriend went out to eat, and we went to Santa Cruz, and naturally I love clam chowder. And so this was like a perfect example of how to share with you guys. Clam chowder is not chicken breast with vegetables and potatoes on the side. That's just not what it is, obviously. And I wasn't going to not eat the clam chowder that I love to eat every single time I go to Santa Cruz, just because you know, it might not fit into my macros. So this was a prime example of utilizing, this is how I do it. So if I know that I'm going to be going out to a restaurant, then I will simply track that, guesstimate it. Like, I obviously didn't have the exact same restaurant's nutrition from it, but guesstimated with what's on MyFitnessPal, put it into MyFitnessPal in the morning, ate regularly around that meal. So still enjoyed that meal, still ate whatever I pleased throughout the day. So, and for people who are just eating clean, say they're on a meal prep, going out to restaurants is nothing to be scared about. That if you're going to any American style restaurant, and usually American style restaurants will have some type of chicken dish, just a chicken breast, like I said, with a side of vegetables or a side salad, potatoes, or something like that for carbs. And of course, whatever your carb intake is, you could just get vegetables, salad, whatever. So if you're going to like a Mexican restaurant, my go-to is chicken fajitas or steak fajitas. And they are usually just sauteed with like vegetables, and then you can order corn tortillas on the side or whole wheat tortillas, and got proteins, veggies, and carbs. And then the last one that I posted about was for like Japanese restaurants, like sushi restaurants, stuff like that. A good alternative, if you don't know what to get, would be something very simple like the sashimi. So it's just the raw fish, and you can get any type. It's generally all pretty similar in macros. Some will be higher in fat than others. And then just getting like a cup of brown rice on the side. And super easy, super basic, healthy. Go onto my Instagram. I'll tell you guys them now, but screenshot it and keep it in your phone, so that if you are out at a restaurant and you need, you need some remembrance of what you should order, so that you're not freaking out, have it in your phone so that you can look back at it. Please don't stress about going out to eat with friends and family and staying on track. It's not that serious. And I just know that, you know, fitness, I've preached this a million times about it being about the mind, body, and the soul. Literally, you guys probably just know that I'm always gonna say that because I put it on my Instagram all the time, but it's so true that if you're not actually happy with yourself, how can you classify yourself as healthy then? Because to me, being healthy is more about your mental state than your actual like physical well-being, because to me, that's just what I classify healthy as. So that's my spiel about eating out, tracking macros. Just remember to guesstimate. It's not that serious. Again, it's about being flexible. So guesstimate, try to hit your macros, and to answer one of the other ones, that if you go over on your macros, do not do minutes of cardio. Please don't do that. You're going to screw up your metabolism. Simply get back on track the next day. If you're in prep for a show, that's something that you can discuss with your coach, or you can email me and we can go more in depth on, especially if you're tracking macros, because there is ways to alter that, like for a week span. But please, if you're not on prep, don't go do hours of cardio. It's literally going to crash your metabolism. Just get back on track the next day and everything's gonna be okay. So that is going to wrap up this Instagram Q&A. So thank you so much. And again, if I did not answer your questions, please leave them in the comment section below on here, so that I can see them on here, and then do another Q&A. Again, follow me on Instagram if you aren't already. You can also post questions on there, corresponding with pictures, and I will get to those as well. Lastly, before I wrap this up, I just want to leave you guys with a little hint of big news. I have a program that is going to be coming out to the public in, I would say, about a week or two. I'm going to be advertising it on my Instagram and on YouTube as well, so keep a lookout. There will be a video. It is basically going to be a training program for free, so it's just going to be something that I really want to use and get people, you know, having something fun to do and to look forward to, and to just kind of all interact together. So keep a lookout for that. Ladies, it is going to be titled Glutes by Boots, if that gives you guys a hint of what it is going to be. But that is all that I'm going to leave you guys with. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, throw it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I will catch you guys in the next video.